Hey, it's me, WWE, and welcome to my playthrough of Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager mode. And this is going to be a special kind of run. I call it the Boys run, named after the OSW Boys stable. And pretty much what that means is that pretty much all the main eventers and the former uh, World Heavyweight Champions are not going to be eligible, with some few exceptions, mainly because there's not enough people on the roster, so I had to take some creative liberties. Like usually the big main eventers are like in the high 70s, mid 80s. But in this run, there's only going to be like four people like in the 80s, like a few in the 70s, and the rest is probably going to be like in the 60 and below. So this is going to be a pretty difficult run on general manager mode, even with the some of the rules turning off, which I get into that a little bit later on. But I decided, either general manager mode or not, I thought I'd try to give this a try. I give myself a bit of a challenge and, make somebody world champion that most people wouldn't. Uh, for those who haven't played this game, or GM mode in particular, pretty much GM mode is fantasy booking. Uh, Technically, it's not much different than playing an exhibition or even story mode. Uh, minus the cutscenes. So if you're not too excited about playing, the regular game, like the exhibition mode, then chances are general manager mode, you'll probably get bored with it. The best way to have fun with a lot of fun with general manager mode is mostly through imagination. Booking the wrestlers you want to push to the top. And let's see, they got Mr. Perfect first. As you can see here, they got overall, which is pretty much how good they are in the ring, and on the right is popularity. I choose Smackdown, which has the cruiserweight belt, and those in blue are the cruiserweights, and those in red are the divas or the women's. And Raw has the women's champion. I'm not going to be drafting any women on there. Like I said, I took some creative liberties. Sorry about that. And there's going to be some former world champions, but they're usually in the low 60s. But anyways, like my first two draft picks is Jim Neidhart and Bam Bam Bigelow. They're probably going to be pushed a little bit, same as Kennedy. But pretty much I have an idea. Also, I need to mention this beforehand. I also took some creative liberties with adjusting some of the stats and move sets. Like I also created my own little faction. Like one of them is like Gregory Helms faction, which includes him as the leader, and Snitsky's and James Snitsky and Benjamin Bigelow, as his heavies. And usually I try to make Gregory Helms world champion, or at the very least, make one of the heavies, usually Benjamin Bigelow, the world champion himself. But other than that, like, man, looking at some of these roster, like, Bobby Lashley wasn't world champion. I just didn't want to count the ECW champion, which I don't think he was even ECW champ during this time. At least not yet. This is way before he became WWE champion. But anyways, like Oh yeah, I think yeah, Real Rico's gonna be with me to already a year. Oh yeah, you make schedule matches week after week. Like pretty much how the show does every week, and you're gonna have your pay-per-views. Some of it is Raw exclusive, while the other one is SmackDown exclusive. The only one that is on both Raw and SmackDown is the big four pay-per-views, which is Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and of course WrestleMania, which is the final pay-per-view of this general manager mode. You see, in this first part, it's all about drafting in the first week of SmackDown, and for the rest of the videos, I plan to do like 2 weeks worth of content. Uh, you can book up to 6 matches per show, or at least per SmackDown show. You also get the option to post at least 3 matches on Velocity or Heat, which is the optional show. But in this playthrough, I got off some of the matches, but not all 6 of them in a week because that would take too long. And right now, I'm trying to figure out who's going to be face and heel. Crean's the good guy, and Dirty is the bad guys. All right, you may notice there's no music on here. That's for copyright reasons. The only music you will hear is the interests of the wrestlers, and well, depending on the YouTube copyright, I may uh, end up skipping most of those interests. But right now, most of the interests stay as is. And of course, we need to make all champions. The world champion gives you 5 extra popularity points, while the other titles is gives you 3 extra popularity points. The more popular the wrestler, the bigger draw the show would be. So I made Bam Bam my world champion. Try to figure out my tag teams here. Usually with tag teams, I go with people who like Chris Masters. He's 58, and if I give him the title, it will boost up to 61, which will increase the ratings of the match depending on which opponent he faces, of course. And I'll try to figure out my second pick because I don't know, like tag team is usually the one I struggle with the most. And the boys one doesn't really make things easier because of the low popularity. Okay, United States champion. That's going to be Jim Neidhart, which is a heel, mainly because of one the pay per view. I have plans for him. And Chavo Guerrero's the cruiserweight. And then, this is pre-recorded, so I changed my mind, and instead, I'm going to make Carlito and Real Amigo the tag team champion. Mainly because I do have plans for them, like at a later pay-per-view. Hopefully that's good enough.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon here. I called to welcome you to the WWE. Before you start your new job as general manager, I want to make one thing very clear. This company was built on a desire to succeed. All challenges and opposition are taken head-on and conquered. Failure is not acceptable. As the new general manager, I expect the same from you. Be aware that your show, your ratings, and your decisions will be measured against the opposing general manager. At the end of the year, I will review both shows' current standings, and the general manager that has the largest fan base will receive the coveted General Manager of the Year award. The loser will be fired. Good luck.
So no pressure from Vince McMahon. I always like that opening. Let me give you some, a somewhat quick tour. Pretty much check your email every week. For more information, it will keep track of all the wrestlers who contracted. Okay, you see the rankings. We got two of my guys in the top two, Jim Neidhart and Bam Bam Bigelow. They made JBL the world champion. Usually they pick the highest popularity, which would have been either Mr. Perfect or Dude Love. But I guess they went with JBL for some reason. So pretty much here's the options. Usually it's interviews. Not only it increases your wrestler's popularity, but also the rating of the match they're in. And you can see here, every week we have shows, and every Sunday of the month there's a pay-per-view, sometimes even two. Like I said before, some of it is Raw, and the other one's Smackdown. So, and of course, gotta come up with our storylines. And of course, on the bottom, there's a cash. Every show is about 50,000, per show, and depending on which matches or promos you use, it increases the budget, and you make money by pretty much putting on a good show, and you get depends on how big an audience you draw, and merchandise, if you choose to push that, which I will, a few times. So this one going to do returning legends, since we got at least two in our roster. It's like, I don't know, like, I was really tempted to put Viscera on there, but I decided to go with the Big Show. And usually, the more popular the guys you put on there, the longer the feud potentially. And since a lot of our guys are pretty low in popularity, most of the time they ain't gonna last like more than say like 6 or 7 weeks, and that's kind of generous. Uh, so probably by the first pay-per-view, which is Judgment Day, 9 weeks away, most of these storylines are probably getting the thumbs down. And once your storyline gets dumbed down, get negative feedback, the ratings of the matches will decrease, no matter the stipulations. Only just any ways to get back to a positive ratings, or positive feedback from a negative storyline. At least not that I remember. Okay, so right here we got Snitsky and Gregory Helms. Put them part of the Freak Show, and during this time, Snitsky, I believe, had the foot fetish gimmick, so that works on his behalf, while Boogeyman is Boogeyman. And usually I try to have like 5 storylines, but since I don't have a full roster of 20, I decided to keep it as 4. And the reason why I don't have a full roster of 20, because of the rules are set Uh, in this one, I gotta turn off injuries and morale, but and titles, and keep on, trades and budget, and of course, rivalry links, so I can have some kind of challenge. And the promos, I have new superstar was automatically boost your wrestler to 3 popularity points, and promos to Ken Kennedy, so it can boost the ratings and Mr. Kennedy's popularity. But I think it only works if he wins. Like, so, pretty much how this works is that the more matches that wrestler wins, his popularity increases, and of course, if the other wrestler lose and keep on losing, the popularity would decrease. And usually put them in specialty matches where, of course, increase their popularity even more. Booking them in more than one matches per show can boost their popularity, assuming they win, of course. I think even booking some wrestlers to lose in specialty matches can sometimes retain their popularity, even boost them up a bit, depending on other factors like interviewing segments. So pretty much I try to figure out the fourth one. I thought I had it there. Uh, I was trying to go with all four and have one heel and face on reserve, so they can be put into any kind of rivalry segment. Usually as job guys, or in Mark Henry's case, the way I'm gonna pick it, like a heavy that can be kind of temporarily added into each rivalry or storyline. Like, say, if Chris Masters was going on a bit of a losing streak, like, in my imagination, I can say, oh, he's gonna hire Mark Henry to beat this other guy up, while Chris Masters was manage him. Yeah, pretty much the manager position is just be on a ringside and cheer them on. And of course, they can help out, which I'll probably show off, later on in this playthrough. Sorry if you hear me drinking my water. Uh, yeah, pretty much like drinking water during this. Of course, sorry if you keep hearing that. But anyways, I got Viscera, uh, as the face on reserve, and Vito and Mark Henry is the reserve heels. So I got Ken Kennedy in 2 segments. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna save every time, and you may notice a little editing here, mainly because you know some of these matches I simulate them uh, mainly because I don't want you to watch every match. A bit of a spoiler that pretty much these matches are probably not going to last too long. Um, Maybe because I try to keep a short video, even though this one is a bit over 40 minutes.
The world's largest love machine. Viscera.
I mean, this is one of my boys.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall.
Even though he's not that good in the ring and kind of an unsafe record, he used to injure people, numerous times, like Diesel and The Undertaker. But I've always been a fan of him for some reason, even as Mabel, you know, Viscera in the Ministry of Darkness, Big Daddy V, which he later became a couple of years later, and of course, this version right here, the Royal Losses Rev Machine. Also, rest in peace. Pretty tragic, but he's a pretty big guy. Like what you see right now. In real life, he's bigger than this. Pretty much, you come up as Big Daddy V, and you get an idea of how big this guy is. Uh, Also, I modified some of his moveset, Viscera. Pretty much his finisher is Yokosuna's finisher, because this other finisher, which I still have, I don't think it's technically safe for YouTube. I may show it off one time, maybe when he's in a title match. But anyways, his opponent, Mark Henry, usually when I play GM mode, I like to make him, like this dominant heel, pretty unstoppable. Sometimes even make him world champion. Maybe I'll do it here in this playthrough, maybe not. In post to THQ, the developers of this game, Jack's Pacific Leaks, like he hasn't even competed yet, and he's already sweating, just like the real Mark Henry. Yeah, this is the Xbox 360 version. So this is pretty much the HD version, while the other one is on PlayStation 2. Only did there's any other console releases, as far as I know. But pretty much the gameplay you see here, other than the make your own matches and stuff, is pretty much the same as exhibition mode and story mode. Usually there's commentators, talking about the match and, the other ideas, talk about the competitors in the ring. But, I decided to turn them off, mainly because I don't want, too many people talking. The only time you hear the commentators is when the wrestler is performing their finishing move. Yep, Mark Henry was showing off a bit. But yeah, I have plans for these two. Right now, more for Mark Henry than Viscera. But Viscera will get his time to shine. Alright, man. But pretty much, if you know your wrestling, you win by pinfall or submissions. Good guys usually have the move modified for good guys. While if you turn a wrestler heel, some of the moves may change a bit and do more heelish things. Like Mark Henry, you saw at the beginning of the match, wrestlers can get out of a submission by grabbing the ropes, and you can have the option to hang on to that hold for less than 5 seconds. That should have finished him. I don't know, for some reason they don't make Mark Henry's finishing move very strong, and that makes Mark Henry mad. And of course, usually a low blow and an actual WWE match would result into an automatic disqualification. But uh, but it's just a heelish move. So, Mark Henry pretty much dominated that match. And Triple H is kind of disappointed in me for doing that. I don't know. I like the facial expression of these wrestlers. Is, like I was saying, I like some of the facial expression the wrestler makes. They're either super happy or they try to look mad, but it looks more like they're disappointed in you. And, with some of the boys I'm going to put over in this GM mode, it does make people question, why. Usually in the only screens they showcase like two wrestlers at a time. Some of them make sense, like Batista and Randy Orton, Eddie and Chavo. And, John Cena and Chris Masters is kind of random to me. And there's, Booker T, and I believe the other one's usually William Regal. During this time, it's the King Booker segment, and Finley and William Regal was kind of their, part of a short-lived faction. So, that makes sense. Oh yeah, think about title belts. There's like a little glitch in some of them. With the Big Show, if he was holding any kind of title belt, instead of running around his waist, he would carry it in his hand. Some wrestlers got unique title animations. Like The Rock. And here's the U.S. champion Jim Neidhart. You can see his body's creeping to the top part of the title. I'm not sure why that does that to him. I thought the title would fit perfectly on him. I know it's probably like this in the 360 version, but not so much in the PS2 version, at least from what I can remember. The Psychosis and the other one should be super crazy. Unfortunately, no Juventud Guerrero. Juventud would have been nice to on this game, and not because I'm a big fan of his, but well, I guess I am kind of a fan, but for the wrong reason. Because Juventud Guerrero is kind of arrogant, and I'm not talking about. Wrestling personality, at least for the most part. But I don't know, like if he was available, I would make him like top boy, like the top heel. But we got to settle for Big Show, I guess. You think Jim Neidhart would have picked up Big Show in real life? Maybe. I mean, in actuality, I think, in kayfabe, they probably wouldn't have him pick up Big Show because, Big Show's a pretty big guy. But, I would like to think he could at least lift him off his feet. Maybe not for like a body slam, but maybe a spine buster, a small one. But anyways, Jim Neidhart is someone I'm going to somewhat push. Like, I'm not going to give him promo time or anything, but he is going to have a decent run with the U.S. title unless I change my mind for some reason. But I do have, some plans for him. I'm not sure if they're going to make him world champion. It's a possibility. I mean, I have an idea who I want to push, but sometimes I have to go off script a bit. Just like Vince McMahon keep changing plans. So who knows? I mean, I think about putting the belt on Viscera, and that will probably not be a good idea. But anyways, Jim Neidhart's being a coward. Yeah. But you may have noticed during the simulation that the tag team champions are Real Regal and Carlito already lost their titles. For the most part, I didn't plan that, but I decided to roll with it. That was his finisher, and he still kicked out, which I can believe. You can see on the top left, there's like some moderate damage. Orange is at the second level. Yellow is the first level. His head, just got mild damage now. And red is the maximum damage. And usually when the body turns red, they start selling their weak spot. Like if the legs are injured in the red level, sometimes when they get up, they may take a few seconds to sell the legs a bit, which leaves them for opening for your opponents. Oh, guess how this is going to end. Yep, better old school finishes. Well, at least it wasn't a double count out and ball to the back. And Bobby Lashley is disappointed in not breaking. Ken Kennedy seemed to like it though. But anyways, our main event, and this is the steel cage match. So we got Bam Bam Bigelow as world champion, and of course, where you're seeing a bit. I like Ken Kennedy as a character, but and he's gonna get booked pretty well, but he's not gonna be like the top guy, or he's not the person I'm gonna push to the top. So pretty much any push they're getting so far, like interview or the new superstar promo push. That's pretty much all they're going to get for this week. While for the other weeks are going to be pushing somebody else. Ooh, I like this part. I missed this so much. Now, I wish he would have stayed in WWE. He would have been a good superstar.
Now that I have everybody's attention, I would just like to remind you that I weigh in tonight at 246 pounds. I hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Kennedy!
Now, here's like the Enzo Amore during this time, in 2006, 2007, except that, here's a better in-ring performer than Enzo. Although I do like Enzo in MLW, I think he's doing pretty good there, playing to his strength. And of course, when I say I like these guys, it's usually the character in the rings, and most likely not the actual person themselves. Uh, Not that I don't, at least for the most part, I don't like the people. I just don't know them too well, so I just, stick to the characters that pertain in. Well, usually the one title looks a whole lot better than that. Like the side plates are usually not that spread out, so I'm not sure why. Well, I think it's because Ben Ben Bigelow's model, like, is wider than your average superstar. Like King Kennedy. You know, so like some of the titles looks weird on some people, while other it looks pretty perfect. Oh man, that would have been a good start right there. But anyways, this is the cage match. Uh, Usually you can have a setting to either escape only or have pin a submission and escape as an option. Oh, I wonder if anybody ever tap out to that move. I should make that somebody's finisher. As you can see here, you can escape there. Usually in this part, the bar usually means the higher up you go, but I'm pretty sure no matter how far the bar is, I think if you do it 3 times, you always reach to the top no matter what. I just want to show that off, and of course, if they knock you down, the higher you are, the more damage you take. I was hoping he would grapple me so I could show off the other part. Maybe next time. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted to do the first time. So, Ken Kennedy had a match earlier, which he won. Now, like I said earlier, the more matches in wins during that week, the faster your popularity boosted, but it also increases the injury, your chances for injury through a gauge. But I turn that off, so for the most part, you don't have to worry about that. But when they get hurt, they can be out for a long time. And of course, there you can use the cage as a weapon as well. Oh boy. But yeah, I think Ben Ben Bigelow would be technically a boy, not because of his gimmick or his character, but how he was booked. Through facing Doink and losing to Lawrence Thomas at the main event of WrestleMania, which losing to celebrities nowadays is not that big of a deal, but back then people used to make fun of him for that, especially when he was in ECW. Go to show off Ken Kennedy's finisher versus the I think it's called the Green Bay Plunge. I think he changed that to a Swanton Bomb. Actually, I think that's his secondary finisher. Almost every wrestler has like 2 finishing moves. But anyways, we're getting near the end of the video, and we already got a new world champion. And see, that's how the belt should look. Usually in non-title matches, uh, and basic matches, not like steel cages. His winning animation is bringing down the mic again and announcing himself as the winner. Not sure if I'm going to show that off during this playthrough, uh, but it's a great game, great attention to detail, and hopefully I can show that off during this little playthrough of General Manager mode. And as you can see here, you can see what everybody up to, and pretty much the goal is to get the bigger fan base. You start out with 5 million fans, and then as the week goes by, the show that has the better ratings, we get an increase of fans. And as you can see here, some of them goes up, while other ones decreases. Excuse me. As usually it takes a bit of a while to increase other people's popularity, unless you keep putting them in specialty matches. But it's a lot easier to decrease your popularity. Just say that. But anyways, hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully I can format it a little bit better. I'm not used to making playthroughs like this, but I just want to give this a try because it's something I always wanted to do. If this goes well, maybe I can do Monday Night Raw. Add all the other wrestlers that's popular, like Triple H, Batista, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and the rest. And you can see the ratings, after the show ends. But anyways, this is me, Barbara Diddy, and I'll catch you guys later.